Okay. I'm going to do live for a few more minutes. There's a bunch of police that are just arriving down at the TCF Center. So we're just going to keep an eye on it. They look like they're on a mission. I went live, you guys, from the TCF Center because we've got like an influx of a ton of police officers when the chanting started. Now, mind you, the chanting is completely within the bounds of what is legal. It is completely peaceful, challenging the vote. You guys, so what's happening in Detroit, when you do challenge, there's a certain protocol that's supposed to be followed. You challenge it, you record it, and a tab goes on that particular ballot. And when that way, you can go back and look at that ballot to decide if it's a legal ballot or not. So in the city of Detroit, they have a register, a paper register, and they also have a computer. Every vote that's cast is supposed to be in one, either the paper register or in the computer. If it is not, that ballot should be challenged. Sometimes it's in both of them. We have people that are challenging votes that are being ignored by the precinct head at that particular table. We have instances where, and every precinct table is supposed to have a Democrat and a Republican represented. We have instances that we know that there wasn't a Republican present, but two Democrats, one lying and saying that they are a Republican. It's happened here today in Detroit, Michigan, November 4th, 2020. No joke. So the means by which they are trying to be deceptive in the ballots, it is not a lie. It is not a joke. I came down here because I got a call out early this morning. I'm going to switch directions. Saying we need poll challengers. There's my representative right there, Mr. Matt Maddock, who just won our district again. Congratulations to the 44th District in Milford Township, among other. But it is just really unbelievable that in this day and age that you have people that are cheering when GOP is getting removed from the room because the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services came in and said, oh, the room's over capacity by 60 people. So what did they do? Did they poll? Did they find out who was from what party? No. They went in to the GOP people and said, we need 60 of your people to leave the room right now. Oh. So we're cheering. Stop the vote. Not cheering, but chanting. So these are all people that have been, are registered to be poll watchers and poll challengers. So there's two different jobs here. The poll challengers aren't being allowed in the room because the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services says that it's over capacity. Yet, they are not pulling Democrats out of the room, only Republicans. Republicans and nonpartisan. So it is not okay what's happening here. It is totally a breakdown in our democratic process. And I'm going to walk over and show you guys where people are being locked out, hundreds of people being locked out of the TCF Center. Oh, Sam tabled in. I'm tabled in, although I've walked through every stopgap so far without a mask, no less. Okay, I'm going to reverse and I'm just going to show you guys. So you can see this is the front of the TCF building. Some of these people showed up to be poll challengers and poll watchers. Some of them actually left the building to go and have lunch and have not been allowed to come back in. So it's crazy. And you can see this building is not at capacity. One room may be at capacity, but the room, not so much. So I interviewed the guy from MDHHS, and I'm like, he was talking to me about room capacities, and he's like, but that's just regular room capacity. I'm not very familiar with election law. And I'm like, well, when you're a polling place or a poll challenging place, the law is very different than what it is for when you're a conference center. And those laws apply without no ifs, ands, or buts. You don't get to challenge those laws. You don't get to not follow those laws. So I had somebody from the building walking behind me. So I'm going to reverse again, and I'll keep talking. All kinds of people, media's here. We have elected officials here. Yeah. Cindy says this is BS, it needs to stop. Well, guess what, you guys? President Trump has already been made aware of it and has filed a lawsuit to stop the count here in Detroit, in Michigan. Because, and in any election, if you have a candidate that's ahead, you know, close races aside, and, you know, the race in Michigan is always pretty close. But when you have out of the blue tens of thousands of ballots that appear overnight, and they're for one candidate and one candidate alone, which pushes magically that candidate ahead in the race, that's a little bit suspicious. There weren't any applied to libertarians or Republicans or Green Party. And Wayne County has a lot of progressive people, meaning a lot of libertarians, a lot of Green Party people. So a lot of independent voters that like those types of candidates. And it just seems very interesting to me that there were 28,000, I think, 28,000 ballots that were for Biden and Biden alone, with literally that was the number change for Biden alone. So I don't know, that's just me speculating, but there will be a challenge here. Every single ballot in this county will be challenged. It should be very, very interesting. I'll reverse again so you guys can see what's going on. So there's Matt down there. Hey, Matt. He's got his back to us, so that's okay. I'll tell him you said hi, Cindy. And you can see, like, this is the lunchroom. So we're at capacity, you guys, but look at the lunchroom. There's like this enormous, it's probably 10,000 square feet. That has maybe 10 people in it. So, yep, we're at the TCF Center in Detroit. So, pray big. I'm praying that truth will be revealed, that justice will be served, and that God's will would be unleashed here on earth as it is up in heaven. I know what my heart's desire is. I think most of the people that are watching or listening, would probably be on the same side with me, but honestly, this isn't the type of thing that I want to have my children inherit, and that grieves my heart greatly. But okay, my phone's gonna die, so keep praying, guys. Pray big.